Hi everyone, welcome to my allotment. I hope you're having a great day. It's very, very hot here and I'm pleased to be sitting in the shade of my sweet peas here. Aren't they gorgeous? They smell so nice. Today's video is about saving seeds, and I'm saving seeds from my peas today. They have finished cropping and I am going to get the plants out of the ground, and I'm gonna get the pods out of the off the vine, and I'm gonna pod the dried peas, and we'll see how many we get. So I do this because I want really vigorous plants for next year. So most of them germinated well, but specifically the alderman was a bit slow, and I didn't get even close to 100% germination, which is what I want. I want effective germination basically, and the way to get that is to save your own seeds, because those plants that were successful in growing and have produced seeds are used to the growing conditions on your plot, to the soil microbiome, and their genetics will have adapted to this. So that's why I'm doing it, and I hope I can inspire you to save some seeds of your own. So peas are good for this because they don't cross-pollinate with each other, so you can have several different varieties of peas right next to each other, and they shouldn't create monsters basically. If you do it with squash, for example, you have to be very vigilant that you are the only one who will pollinate that female flower, and then you save seeds from only that squash fruit. Otherwise, I mean, it's fun to experiment, of course, but if you want something that's true to type, then you have to be careful with certain plants. But yes, that's what I'm doing today. I hope you enjoy. So the first thing I need to do is to somehow remove the structure and get the peas, separate them into the three varieties that I have, and get them off the netting. So it's probably going to be a bit of a job. So this is what it looks like now. And the poor fennel got a bit squished. I'm sure if I give it some water, it'll recover. And it's just a little bit of bindweed to get rid of. Yeah. Alright, and then we have 3 piles. So we have the March 2 there, Oregon sugar pod. And this is Hurst green shaft. No. And then we have 3 piles of peas here. So that's the tall alderman heirloom type pea, and this is the Monch 2 Oregon sugar pod, and this is the dwarf Hurst green shaft. So I'm just gonna take them with me down into the shade and start getting the pods off. Whew, it's nice to sit in the shade. It's very hot today. So I'm gonna use some newspaper in a tray. Just to put the peas on. And then they can lie in a single layer. Just to dry out a bit more, and I'm going to write on the paper what they are. So this is the dwarf variety, so that is Oregon sugar pod. No, it's not. My God. It's Hearst Green Shaft. Hearst Green Shaft. Okay. Okay, let's see what we've got. So we've got some that are completely dried. So let's have a look. Yep. So they are just completely dry. And they're ready to go really for storage. But then on here is also quite a lot of green and starting to become leathery. So those are not, they will be much wetter. Oh, and this is what you need to look out for as well. So there are some here that are good for storage, but then there's some here that have been eaten by the pea moth larvae. So those will have to be discarded, and it's pretty obvious. They have holes in them, and they have debris from the larvae there. So they can go for the compost bin. I really should have a pile for that. No, let's put them on there. Oh, yeah, so this one. Wow, it really had to go there. Oh yeah, oh, that one still alive there. Ooh, it's a fat one. Peas. Right, so not a huge amount of peas, but you know, that'll be enough for my sowing probably next year. I don't grow loads, so it's good, and I still have some from this year's sowing, so sorry, the packet that I used this year, and they should be fine. But it'll be interesting to see if these are faster at germinating. And the other thing about saving your own seed is that you know they're fresh. Yes, you might not have the perfect storing conditions like temperature control warehouses or whatever, but you know that they were not sold to you 3 years old or whatever, so that should give you some peace of mind. Right, let's go on with it. Right, finally finished. You can see them all there. Some of them have gone to the compost already, but oh, it's hot. My shade disappeared. I really need to get a good parasol for here. But yeah, let's have a look at what the potted ones look like. So here they all are. This is the alderman. There's some there that are a bit fresher than the others, but otherwise they're very uniform. There's some green and some more yellow. The Mange 2 is very varied. I found with some that were almost blue and some that are pure yellow. So that's quite interesting. And then the dwarf peas are just green. So how sure am I that I haven't mixed some of these up? Not 100%. But, you know, that's okay. If anything, it'll become obvious once they start growing and cropping. And yeah, I'm really hopeful that the effort is worth it for next year. So when you do pod them, make sure you inspect the peas a bit. So if they're split, don't keep them. If they have obviously any damage from the moth, caterpillar or anything like that, don't keep them. And the idea really for keeping seeds is to take them from a plant that's really vigorous and looks the way you want it to look. Obviously with peas, I've just taken all of them. Like I was quite happy with what I had, so I just collected them from all of them. But yeah, in general, when you collect seeds, only from the perfect exemplar, of course. And if you're short on space and you want to save seed, you know, you don't have to keep all of them. You could even like sow one module plant or whatever and just specifically for seed, so then you don't take any of those pods and you just leave them, and then you can pull the rest and replant as soon as you want, as soon as they've finished. Yeah, I was gonna save seeds from lettuce as well, but the one I kept, the one I'd risen up to flower, actually fell over in the rain we had. So I guess it was really tall, and when I'd taken the friends out, the ones surrounding it, it just became, I guess, too heavy with all the rain. So that's a shame, but you know, maybe next year. Or maybe one of the other plants I've already sowed. Yeah, so we'll see. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you've tried saving seeds before, and what ones they were and how did it go. And yes, I'll see you next time. Have a great rest of your day, and happy growing.